I don't consider myself as a spiritual person, nor even a thinker or a feeler. Put me next to a feeler, not feeler enough. Put me next to a thinker, not thinker enough. Put me next to an Asian, not Asian enough, surprisingly. Put me next to a French Canadian, because I'm from Montreal, not French enough. So what the hell am I? So I want to declare war with inauthenticity, with those little boxes that we put upon people that prevents them from self-expression. Because those boxes, they make them suffer. It's painful for people. I'm human and I want to express myself. And what do these people do without the means, the strength, the will to do these things, to complain, to voice themselves? They kill themselves. They get into depression because they are afraid of labels, of judgment, because people are quick with their brain. It's very easy to just place this person in that box, that person in this other box. This is why I use my system all the time to teach people that they have these little boxes in them. You can quantify those boxes in order to break away from them. But you have to see those boxes. If you don't see the boxes and you just claim you are what your friends say you are, you know, your family or whoever it is, the world around you, you know, it's perfect, it's beautiful, it's sellable. I could be saying something and then your brain's gonna start churning. It's just like that little train going on, little wagon. I'm just gonna say one word and then your brain's just gonna go. Like Apple, or I don't know, Elon Musk. It's going somewhere. Or I don't know, Donald Trump. Boom, somewhere else. Ukraine. There you go, right? Like your brain just jumps one thing to another. Stay here and analyze whatever that I'm putting on the table. Or else you're just pulling information from elsewhere and then you're just gonna come to a different variable. Imagine AI. How can AI be accurate? Like Google is providing you accurate searches according to the keywords you provided. Imagine I'm providing you one keyword and then you just come up with your own search. That's not human interaction at all. That's just branding again. Putting people in a little tuna can. And you're like, okay, you're this. Boom. Stamp. Sell. Stay here. And process the information that I give you first. I give you one. And then you start building a picture. Sketching something. With all the little informations I put together. You don't want to go on a tangent according to your own neural network. Because then it's just a different story. It's a different person you're going to talk to. That's not going to be me. That's a projection. I know my own boxes, and I am working with them every day. And I will encounter friction, and that is simply collision of energy from different types of boxes of different nature, and that is just very normal. Get in touch with those boxes. You get in touch with the different sides of you, but you have to recognize them first. I don't want to be part of any sort of association that your brain is putting upon me. Like those boxes around me that's happening right now, I just want to poke holes into them because I want to build my own box. Right? Maybe someone else eventually will put a box on me, but right now I want to be the designer of my own box. So that's possible because it seems like the world works with words. If words are not spoken, those things do not exist. It's just invisible. The moment someone puts it into reality with words, strangely, it becomes reality. It becomes something to think about. In an ideal world, I would rather live in a world of quietness and silence. But that could be boring for some people. And that's modern communication, human interaction for you. It's me judging you, you judging me. We live in a world of branding and we gotta understand the game. So what do? We create a different language that uses branding. Transcend those limitations. You wanna play by the rules to break the rules, but you gotta understand the rules first. You gotta understand what is happening, what those boxes are, what those personality boxes are first. Oh, I'm having these boxes. The danger, like Bruce Lee says, is to identify yourself to them and be like, oh, this is really me. Oh, the game is real. Another thing, those who are true inventors and visionaries, those who changes everything, Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, these people who are just innovators, right? Regardless of what you think about them, regardless of whether or not you think they deserve those titles, these people, they stand with their vision, and because of that, everything changes. Everything changes, and this is what I want to do. I want to change everything. And whatever you're seeing in the back, that's just distraction. It's not real. the bread's not there. Right? Because the vision is what's real. What's ahead of me is real. What I see, you guys don't see yet, but eventually one day you guys will see what I see. And that's just something that, I don't know, I can't put into words yet because it's just so big. Yeah, I wanted to share with you guys that type of thinking that I try to access every time I'm tackling a project or anything that I want the result to be beyond myself. It's a little bit like a trance. What do I mean by that? You put some background noise, white noise, some music, whatsoever it is, and then you just, you feed your brain with information, certain kind of information that you're seeking to get. But then you also allow yourself, you distract your body by doing some labor thing, like being at work or something, baking, whatsoever. And then eventually, as you listen, half don't listen, and have your own thoughts, eventually something connects. And that's the most important part, because that's like the seed to everything else beyond. It's just on autopilot. Your body's on autopilot. Your mind is on autopilot. And well, in some books, they call it the flow. To have your body put into some sort of routine, that's reasonably challenging, so that you could spare some of your attention onto what you want to think about. And eventually thoughts will just start shaping, like the type of thoughts that you're looking to put together. So like right now I'm wheeling, and I shouldn't be, I have like half of my attention on wheeling and the other half on doing this recording. And so I'm sort of on autopilot with my thoughts, right? If I keep talking, eventually that'll make sense, right? So that's like sort of the same thing. If you want to innovate, if you want to create ideas that are very unique, you gotta feed your mind the information closely to what you want. Just put it all in there. Just pile on information. Eventually you get this meal, and then you want to taste it, and then you're gonna be like, oh, okay, so it tastes like this, and then you're like, oh, I don't. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of chaotic. It's kind of too much. And then you take things out, and then you do it all over again, and then you're like, okay, so I'm putting this time, that information. Then you weight those connections, that little light bulb. Our subconscious mind has like a notion of information that we don't usually have access to. So in order to kind of access that, you're gonna have to bypass that rational thinking first by distracting your body with like some reasonable amount of tension task, and then you're more receptive to those new information because you're not having that rational thought just blocking the way out every time. So eventually you make those connections, and then that's when genius thinking comes. It's because you never really know what you're doing the whole time. You just sort of follow that gut feeling, but you really have to listen to that gut feeling because it is so important. So hopefully that was insightful to some of you. In terms of feeling, that would be for another video.